Look how brown my eyes look.
Guys, it is Laura, Beauty with Laura. It's not Laura, it's my phone's right there. This is the first video in my back to school series. I'm actually only gonna have about 6 videos, which is not too much, but for the next, like, till August 7th, I will, because I start school August 6th, that's kind of like when the dent to the back to school videos comes down, and obviously back to school videos are really not my forte. Okay, so for the next few weeks I will be posting on Wednesdays and Fridays, and that's just for the back to school series, just because I want to fit as much videos as possible. I feel like I'm not even centered. As much videos as possible. But then I'll go back to every Friday, because when I go back to school I'm going to be kind of busy, so I don't want to have to upload twice a week. So high school and middle school I feel like are a lot different, so the transition could be hard for some people. For me it really was. I was super scared of, we do not want to see that in the background, Laura. I was super scared of what might happen when I go to high school. When I go to high school, and then I would have the same friends as I did before, so making friends was basically the stressor for me. So I will be talking a lot about that in this video. So if you're going to feeder high school, which basically means that everyone from the same middle school goes into the same high school, then you can take a weight off your shoulder, because you'll see familiar faces and everything. You might not want to be friends with the same people, but at least you'll see people that you know what I mean? Like if you want to talk to someone, you can be like, hey, whatever, I knew you from middle school. But with me it was a lot different. I actually went to a smaller high school and I didn't know anyone in my high school. But if you're going through any type of problems with freshman year and you have those knots in your stomach, then I'm here to help you. What I want to talk about is supplies. So most schools, they will give you a supply list before time, but ahead of time, but some schools actually don't. They might give you like a general one. Then the first day of school they give you the more basics broken down into every class or whatever. And every class has like the syllabus and the supplies list. So the basic things that you'll most likely need for your first day of school is a backpack, pencils, paper, a binder, maybe like a folder or something like that. Just some pretty basic things until you get your big list. But if your high school does give you everything ahead of time, then you are so lucky, because I'm not even sure about my high school right now. So just make sure you stay organized. That's the thing I stress the most about high school, because if you're not organized, then it's just gonna make doing your homework and keeping everything together and figuring everything out a lot harder. So one supply that I really recommend you get is a planner. I know everyone says this. It's just it's so amazing to write your homework down and test and studying and anything else in there. You just have to remind yourself to actually look at it, because I had a big problem with that last year. I would not even look at my planner, and I'm like, crap, I forgot my homework because I didn't look at my planner. So you'll always have orientation, which is basically just when you go to your high school and they will show you around, and you might take a picture, or you might take a placement test, depending on what high school you go to. I had to take a placement test. We didn't take our picture, and we didn't get our ID type of things until I think October, so we didn't do it at the beginning of the school year. But besides the fact, you'll get to learn the high school a little bit more, and you might play name games depending on what high school you go to. We didn't play name games. Literally, we had the sophomores, people that were going to sophomore year showed us around the high school, and we took a placement test, and that was pretty much it. And our parents just dropped us off in the morning. That was how our orientation went. But our orientation sucks. So if your orientation sucks ass like mine, then you might want to go to your school before the first day of school, I don't know, a few weeks before. No, not a few weeks. A few days before the first day of school, and make sure they let you, but just kind of go around and see where each of your class is going to be. It really helps to kind of get the format in your head, but try and meet people just so you can see a familiar face on the first day of school. So come prepared and get to school earlier. So getting to school earlier helps with the whole, knowing where your classes are and everything. You can go find your first class and find your second class or whatever else. And if you get lost, it's less awkward walking to the wrong class if it's earlier than if it's later. So yeah, I've actually never walked into the wrong class because my high school is really small. But if you have a bigger high school, then I cannot stress that enough. And also, when you come to school early, waiting outside of class or waiting in class, and you might have time to talk to people, make a friend. So one thing that I have a big tip of is having your schedule out the whole day and maybe even the whole week depending on how big or small your high school is. For me, it only took me like 2 days to learn the high school. So only like, but I remember the first day of school, the freshmen were all holding the schedules up and like looking around like they were freaking lost in the woods or whatever. Yeah, I'm laughing about it now just because I'm a sophomore and I just feel like it's funny, but yeah, that was me last year, so don't even worry about it. Or you can have your schedule on your phone, like screenshot it or take a picture of it so you don't look like, if you don't want to look stupid, you want to look cool, you're just like, hey, I'm on Instagram, even though you're like checking out your schedule and just like looking around like me. So also make friends while in class. This really helps because just be like, hey, you say hey to them, they say hey to you. Just be like, you want to sit with me at lunch? Yay, we're best friends. No, I'm just kidding. That's not really how it works. But talking to people in class and making friends in class will help you at lunch so you can like, if you have like a class before, I recommend making a friend in the class before lunch because then you can just be like, hey, do you want to go lunch with me? Besides, girl, I'm getting all flustered. If you make a friend in your first period or your second period, then you're like, hey, you want to sit with me at lunch, and they might forget about it, make some new friend or whatever else. For me, what really helped was my first period class. I met a girl, her name's Sydney. We're like best friends now. She was in my Never Have I Ever video I did. I'll link that down below if you guys want to look at it. I met her in my first period class, and literally we had our second period and third period together. So then at lunch, I was just like, hey, do you want to sit with me at lunch? She was like, yeah. But don't really stress making too many friends on the first day of school because you might make them later on. Just let the other friends come naturally. Literally for the first semester, I had one friend and her name was Sydney. Sydney was my only friend for the first, well, I had other friends, but like she was the only person I sat with at lunch and hanged out with after school and stuff like that. Then I met my other 8 friends in the second semester, which pretty much came naturally in class. I met them. So don't really stress like, oh, the first day of school I had to have all these friends. I had to have a big group of friends and we all have to be best friends. Like, do not worry about it that much because that will mostly happen naturally over time. So my freshman year experience was pretty terrible. No, I'm just kidding. It was okay, honestly. I don't really like school. I like school, but I don't like school. Like, it's like a thing. It depends on the class. But I'm really excited for my schedule for sophomore year. It really seems like really fun. I have a lot of good classes that I'm excited for. But freshman year was okay. The first semester was a little bit rough adjusting and getting into my grades and trying to get good grades and trying to make new friends and all that. But second semester was even better. I had a lot of friends and I had a lot of fun and I got good grades. So that was all great. Really, you have to give stuff time, especially if you're at like a big high school with a lot of people. It's obviously going to take some adjusting time. My biggest tip is to just be patient and on the first day of school be really nice. But really, yeah, be nice, just be friendly. I know for me it was always really hard making friends and all that because I'm super shy and sometimes people think that I'm being rude or whatever else, but really I'm just really shy. But just, you know, be yourself and try to be more open, especially if you're awkward and shy like me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, I keep getting tongue twisted. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me a thumbs up, write a comment, and thumbs this video up if you are a sophomore, if you're a freshman or sophomore this year, and comment a video request down below for my back to school series. Bye!